Always trying to start this dang video right, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get it. Okay. Of course, my dog is walking around in the background. Lovely beast, you. Yeah, talking to you. Let me finish this video. This is coming to the number two, America. This is the sequel to. Um, I have to admit, it's probably no, it is. It's a classic, and I feel like so in high school and probably in some grade schools, there's things that like books and TV shows and movies, they're like required reading or required viewing for the for that particular class. This is required viewing for young kids growing up in urban settings, particularly black kids. I mean, the original, not this one, the original. You could even go as far as say it's just a funny show that's overlooked. Funny movie, I should say. It's a funny movie that's overlooked by a lot of by almost everybody. It's not even brought up. I don't think it's a classic comedy. Um, Now, where should I go with this? I guess I should just try and I should just try and give an overview of it. So this story takes place with Eddie Murphy, of course. He's the leading role. So his character uh, is in a bit of a situation. So his neighboring, his neighbors basically, they're willing to go to war because of Eddie Murphy's father. His character is going to die in this movie, which he dies in a god awful manner or just like horrible way. Not like gory or anything, just it's just bad. And way his neighbor's not just anybody. It's Wesley Snipes, and his daughter is played by Tiana Taylor, which comes in. I'm saying her name right. Comes into play later on. Now, if you don't know where she's from that Kanye West video Fade. Fade is it Fade Away or Fade? I don't know what is titled. But anyway, that's her dancing around in that particular video. That's the woman, and that's the woman. Now, I guess I'm getting sidetracked, but anyway, I just want to before I forget, she is. I've come across so many interviews with her on on different platforms or whatever, right? It seems like her personality in real life is so like at such a turn up to such a high notch, and then have her in this movie where she's like acting like a robot, basically. I know that part of acting is taking a person and um, playing playing a role, something that's other than themselves, and making it believable. It's not believable. It's not believable that she would be a robot. She doesn't sell it, so maybe it's bad acting on her part. Or I feel like they could have used some of her real personality in that character. I think it would have worked. But hey, what do I know? I'm not in the movie biz. Okay. Now, trying to get back to the main story. So, in order for Eddie Murphy's character to try and kind of like uh, do what he feels is right and save the kingdom, he needs to have a male heir, but he only has three daughters. Come to find out, he had an illegitimate child with or bastard. He keeps calling him a bastard son with I forget her last name, but her first name is Leslie, and she played on SNL for quite some time, or maybe she still is on there. I'm not 100% sure. Um, oh, I forget. Oh, I forgot. Tracy Morgan's in this movie. Linnell. I say Wesley Snipes, Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, James Earl Jones. They even brought back his choice, Eddie Murphy's choice from the first movie. She's in this movie. She plays a good part. There's so many actors here, which I think overshadows a lot of the newer talent. I mean, but there's two breakout actresses in this movie. One is one's a South African actress, and I'm not even going to attempt to say her name. The other one is Kiki. She played in a movie called If Bill Street Could Talk, which is actually in my top five favorite movies of all time. Anyway, those two actresses did a great job in this movie. They're believable, and I follow those characters, and I wanted to see more of them on the screen, or yeah, I guess on the screen. Where was I at with the story overall? Yeah, so he goes back to America, to New York of all places, and he finds the son, brings it back. There's now, don't get me wrong. I feel like one of the pluses from this, from all movies of late, have been the quality of the image. Like what you're seeing, what you're seeing as far as behind the lens is such great quality, and you can pick up on the littlest details now, and the scene and the setting is done so beautifully. I mean, there's a I guess some use of computer generated images, but I think they blend pretty good. They're not horrible. I'll say that they're not horrible. They blend pretty good. They're not too bad. Well, they're not too bad. I've seen worse, of course. Yeah, I think we've all seen worse. Not too bad. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. But anyway, so the son goes back. He's starting to get used to. They're bringing up so many old things from the original movie, which people have come to love at this point. I mean, you've probably heard so many of these lines. Just the royal penis is clean, Your Highness. What else? Sexual chocolate, soul glow, McDowell's. I mean, there's so many things that have come from the original that they're kind of trying to bring back to life in this one. They even go as far as to put in the dialogue of the movie, questioning even making the movie, which I'm like, I agree. Like, why make it? Why why even make a second one? It was the first one was perfect. This one should be erased though. I have to say. But saying that, knowing even though a movie is bad, there's still effort put into it by people that are involved in the process of making it. So that's where I get kind of I'm kind of weak at that point. Like I don't want to bash it too much, but it's like it's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. So let me try to get back to the main story. So the son comes back. He's getting used to the royal treatment. And of course, he falls in love with somebody else, which happens to be his barber. This is the South African young lady, and oh man, she just steals every scene she's in. She's a really good actress. So he falls in love with her. Then they run away to they run away back to America, and then Eddie Murphy's character has an epiphany, like, oh, I've done something wrong. You know, I need to. There's a piece of hair floating in there. There's a piece of hair floating in front of me. I've done something wrong. I need to change my ways. This, that, and the third. Um, he winds up doing that, and you know, saying, "Hey, the hell with it. You know, forget about traditions. You know, my daughter's fully capable of running the kingdom when it's my time to pass on. Now my father's passed on, just like no big deal." But there's a little bit of that uh, pro feminist mystique, I guess. I hope I'm using that word right. There's a little bit of that thrown in there. Just anything. Now, granted, if something has happened in the past, something horrible has happened in the past, something like morally wrong has occurred, I can understand that. But it's a movie. I'm just trying to watch a movie. Having something, not even from that standpoint, something else completely different. Having something pushed pushed on you, or trying to force it down your throat to, in a way, shame you for the actions of people that you have no connection with. It's like, come on, man. It's just a movie. I'm trying to watch a movie, but I do understand the struggle. Um, don't want people to think I'm unsympathetic to that. Now, what I got off track. Now, what was I? yeah, so end of the movie, Eddie Murphy finally like changed his mind. I can't even remember what happened in the movie. His son winds up getting married to. Uh, his son winds up getting married to the the royal hairdresser, the South African lady. Where was I going with this? Overall, it's a bad movie. I have to say that. I mentioned they brought back a lot of the old gags, and I think Eddie Murphy played a lot of the characters he played in the first movie. So Arsenio Hall, Wesley Snipes, his character was probably the worst character of the whole movie. Why? Just overdone and super cheesy. Okay. Um, Eddie Murphy, I feel like he was trying to act. I was like, okay. Like I said before, the two young actresses, they were the standout pieces of the movie, and of course the setting stood out. Great wardrobes. I feel like, but I will say this: it's a horrible movie, but the overall vibe is uh, one of a good time. I can say that much. I feel like everybody that was involved in it was having a good time while they were making this movie. Of course, who hasn't thought, as iconic as this movie, as the first one was, who hasn't thought of uh, uh, doing a remake or trying to modernize it? Who hasn't thought of doing that? Would I have, personally, what I have done in this manner? No, but that's not up to me. I'm not in the showbiz. But anyway, yeah, bad movie.